Did you kind of just make up all of his adventures, like the staff, how he gets all the powers? I forget what.
You know what?
Or did you kind of get like stories of Merlin and kind of put them together a little bit differently?
This is the fun thing. I feel like I'm the luckiest author in the world who realized that there was this great untold story about Merlin when he was the same age as all of you. Now, how fun is that? We all know the stories about Merlin the wizard, you know, the great old man. He's centuries old. He's maybe 1,000 years old. He has this long white beard, and he changes Arthur into animals, a fish or a goose, to teach him about what he needs to know to be the great King Arthur, right? And remember the story of the sword and the stone that Arthur pulls out?
Yeah.
Who put the sword in the stone?
Merlin.
Right. Plus, he lives backwards in time, something I'd love to figure out how to do. He has all of these adventures, and there are so many of them, but let's use that tapestry image again, okay? That metaphor, a great big tapestry of myth, but there's a hole in it, a big gaping hole about when he was a boy, when he was young, when he was the same age as you guys. So that's why I have his story start when he is so far away from a wizard. He's not even remotely any way, shape, or form like a wizard. He's as far away as you could possibly get. He is just this half-drowned, wet rag of a boy who is spat out by the sea on the first page of this book. And when the sea recedes, and he finally wakes up, and he's so weak he can't even open his eyes for a while. He hears the seagulls screeching. He tastes that sand on his tongue. He can smell the seawater. Even then, the sea is almost pulling at his torn tunic, trying to drag him under the waves and drown him. And that's when he realizes something even worse has happened, right? Even worse than getting shipwrecked and washed ashore. He has lost his whole memory. Everything he ever knew. He doesn't even know his own name. And that's where his story begins. So what do you think he'd say, Oliver, if you went up to him on the beach that day and said, "Hey, young man, I'm the reporter from the local Finkyra news station. Do you think you're going to be the greatest wizard of all times?" What do you think?
I'd probably say no.
Probably. He'd probably say, "You are nuts. There's no way." But he does. And this is the thing. He has down inside of him something really special. Something maybe even magical. Kind of the way that Basil does down inside himself. And then he gets to become, in the way Basil becomes something different, that boy Merlin becomes something different. And that's really where his story begins. But that's part of why it's just plain so much fun having these adventures with these characters, is because they have a lot to learn, discover, and fun, big surprises await them, and lots of adventure.